cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 2181 Hello, lovely lady friend. You're here on the first podcast of the year with the Mike's Daily Podcast. The first podcast that she's been on this year. Hello, it's great to have you here. We went walking and we got ourselves a beer. No, we didn't. We got instead some...
Mochi donut. Mochi.
A mochi?
Mochi.
We got a mochi and it was delicious. And Mike's Daily Podcast. I'm trying to fix something while we're doing this. Hang on. There, it's a little bit softer.
Mike's
Yes.
Daily.
We were blasting this song
Podcast.
super loud in our ear holes.
Yeah.
And now it's nice and calm
Yes.
in our ears. Burn a Mike's Daily Podcast. Yeah, we got mochis. Was that it?
Mochi, I think. Mochi Doughnuts. Oh my God, they were incredible.
And they're like these. Okay, so here I'm going to explain. You ever had those donut holes that are stuffed with like custard? It kind of had that sort of flavor to it. Only it was a donut. It's almost like a cronut, I think is similar to what we had.
Are cronuts filled with some kind of custard?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. I don't think these were filled with the custard, though. But no, but they had a really doughy, or I don't know if it's dough that is used. I'll have to look that up.
There was dough because it was a donut involved. So the dough was there.
Is it though? Is it dough?
Is it dough?
Is it dough?
Is it dough?
I'm going to have to look this up.
Okay.
On the spot.
We were
Fact check.
Fact checking.
Come to you.
Which
Detour.
Yes. Okay, she's going to do that because we live in a fact checking world. No.
We should.
Here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture today is of a place that my lovely lady friend and I went to. You can see it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And generally, wherever you listen to this podcast, the podcast picture is included. If it's not, then you need to change your entire life and stop listening to the podcast the way you're doing it because you're missing the podcast picture. So it's called Mavericks. And Mavericks is over there near Half Moon Bay in the Bay Area. It's on the Pacific Ocean. And it's also close to Sail Rock. Oh, Basil and I went there years ago together. The late, great Basil the boxer. See that picture at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Okay, a Mochi donut. Oh, Basil, you would enjoy a Mochi donut. It consists of glutinous rice flour, all-purpose flour, cornstarch, baking powder, granulated sugar, silken tofu, egg, and water. And they're usually glazed. Thank you for finding that.
You're welcome, my love. You would think that tofu and a donut, those two would not ever go together.
Yeah.
But it is incredible. I'm converted.
You are?
I am.
You've converted to the Mochi donut religion?
Mochi donut, yes.
Mochi. It's not a religion.
It is for me. Now.
It's a religion Homer Simpson started. Donut.
Mochi.
Well, let's see. I would like to do a quick disclaimer that what I'm about to say does not in any way pertain to any place I work at or any people that I know. They may not agree with me. I hope they don't, because that's what makes us all great. We all have our own little opinions, our own little belief systems. My lovely lady friend works with people who have sometimes a hard time. Their belief system may be a little bit askew, and she kind of sets them. It's not a belief system, huh? It's more like your what is it, Laszlo or Maslow? Who's the pyramid of needs? Maslow. So like at the bottom, you have your basic needs, like your food, water. And then at the top, it's your actualization.
Yep.
So I guess I'm not talking about that. I don't know what I'm saying. But today was an awful, awful day in Washington, D.C. My lovely lady friend's never been there. I've been to the Capitol, and it's like seeing what was happening today just disgusted me. And what disgusted me even more is there were people on the radio that were promoting that were not, they were in fact criticizing the politicians for having a problem with the people crashing into and causing disruption in the Senate. And did you know that, like, the votes, all those electoral votes, they could have been set on fire, they could have been burned, they could have been destroyed? It was pandemonium and awful, and I just was appalled what I saw.
I think, was it, interestingly enough, was it George W. Bush?
Yes.
Who said that that this is something you would expect from a banana republic.
Banana republic, yes.
I never thought I'd agree with W. Or Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell said some stuff today. I'm trying to find it. I had it on my phone earlier.
There are always first. He actually spoke.
Yes.
Some words of wisdom. Mitch.
He said that Trump claims the election was stolen. The assertions range from specific local allegations to constitutional arguments to sweeping conspiracy theories. Mitch McConnell said, I've supported the president's right to use the legal system, dozens of lawsuits, perceived hearings in courtrooms all across our country, but over and over again, the courts rejected these claims, including all-star judges whom the president himself has nominated. Every election we know features some illegality and irregularity. This is why I'm not a politician, because I cannot talk. That speech would not have worked had I had to read it. But Mitch McConnell somehow got through that word. Of course, he says that's unacceptable. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. He didn't say that either. I support strong state-led voting reforms. Last year's bizarre pandemic procedures must not become the new norm. I didn't like that statement, because what do you mean? Like, we won't be able to vote from home? Is that what he was alluding to? Because he was saying pandemic procedures, which that implies voting from home, because you can't show up at an election facility to vote then in pandemic. Actually, here in California, we could have still voted at the polling place. We just had to wear our mask.
Yeah.
But then they had the mail-in option, and that just made it so much easier.
Yeah, I don't know what he meant by that. Maybe he was referring to that, just the safety protocols, COVID protocols.
But, my colleagues, nothing before us proves illegality anywhere near the massive scale, and he reiterated, the massive scale that would have tipped the entire election, nor can public doubt alone justify a radical break. It's interesting he said radical, because that's exactly, the radicals stormed Congress today. When the doubt itself was incited without any evidence, the Constitution gives us here in Congress a limited role. We cannot simply declare ourselves a national board of elections on steroids.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, when you read that earlier, I was flabbergasted. Like, I had to pick my jaw up from the floor, because this is Mitch McConnell saying these words. And, you know, we've talked about this. He is a sly fox.
He's a chameleon. He tries to fit in with every Republican leader that comes through.
He chooses his words wisely. He knows exactly what he's saying. When he says what he says, he's not impulsive like some other leaders. So he knows exactly what he's saying, and he chooses his words for effect, for a reason. And for him to say that, those are really pointed words. There isn't anything disingenuous about what he's saying. This ish is real.
Thank you. Thank you for not cussing on my show.
Thank you, love.
Can I just say what you've been saying all day today is that you were like Oh, like we should be surprised now? And why is Mitch McConnell doing this now?
Yeah,
he could have done this weeks ago.
I agree.
Months ago. And everybody, and you said this to me yesterday about how the call that Trump made to find me some votes.
Yeah.
That was the smoking gun. That's what was it? The two guys that brought Nixon down from the Watergate. Was it Paul Newman or was it Robert Redford?
Robert Redford, yes.
One of those two guys. So, yeah, one of them actually, is it Paul Newman's gone. He passed away.
He did.
Okay, but yeah, the guy that writes the books that's really smart, he said that was Woodward. Was it Woodward?
Bob Woodward.
He said that this will be the smoking gun, that call. But you were like, everything's the smoking gun.
Yeah.
And why didn't any... Yeah. So, and you also said today, what happened today is really no surprise, because how else could you expect this to end?
Yeah.
The followers of Trump love Trump because he, quote unquote, he said, I'm going to, quote unquote, drain the swamp, which you know what, so they'll follow him to the ends of the earth because they think that he's the only true politician they can trust. He's not, because he's not a politician. He came from reality shows and he's a businessman and all that stuff. So the fact that Trump did not in any way, all he said was be peaceful or some tweet, but then he doubled down on the whole this is an unfair election, we'll never concede. He said we'll never concede. And so then Biden said today, and I'm completely missing the saddest part about that whole thing is that a woman got shot and died. So, I mean, that makes this day extremely foul.
Yeah.
And Biden said,
unnecessary.
History will rightly remember today's violence at the Capitol, incited by a sitting president who has continued to baselessly lie about the outcome of a lawful election, as a moment of great dishonor and shame for our nation. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't Biden. It was Barack Obama who said that in a statement. But we'd be kidding ourselves if we treated it as a total surprise, just like you said, lovely lady friend. For 2 months now, a political party and its accompanying media ecosystem has, and that's true, even today, I heard right-wing talk show hosts, even as this was all going on, inciting the public even more, saying, you've got to go, this is our Capitol, this is our, this is our building, we can storm it if we want, and we can take over and cause bedlam if we want. It's crazy. Has too often been unwilling to tell their followers the truth, that this was not a particularly close election and that President-elect Biden will be inaugurated on January 20th. And these right-wing talk show hosts will still not call him President-elect. They just bury their head so far in the sand. This one guy, he was doing like a rally. It had a bunch of people there going, yeah, Trump's our president. Trump's still our president. And he does a live radio show. And one of his fans, knowing that this was a radio show, did a full-on cuss word. I mean, really bad, like a string of cuss words, like right on the mic. I don't even cuss. You heard lovely lady friend didn't cuss a little while ago. The type of people we're dealing with. And like you said, H.W. Bush, I'm sorry, he's gone. The late, great George H.W. Bush. Oh, can you imagine what he would have said had he seen this?
Yeah.
But his son said, this is how election results are disputed in a banana republic, not our democratic republic. Our last Republican president said that. And when he won, remember, it was really close then. And did Al Gore, he contested it, but was it anything like this? No, he conceded at some point because he knew if he didn't, everybody on the other side would be calling him an insurrectionalist.
Yeah. Well, it's the gracious dignified thing to do.
Yeah, whenever you lose.
I mean, but that requires being able to step outside of your own needs and your own desire and you know, your own agenda. It requires you to be able to think about other people, to put the needs of the country first.
Right.
And that's not what we're dealing with in this president.
What
unfortunately.
In any of this, how is this? Any smart individual could look at this and say, this is not good for the nation. Yes, votes that aren't counted or whatever, or even though there's no evidence for it, that's bad too. But this is far worse. You're destroying the country. Today you saw it. The country is coming apart because of him.
Oh, yeah. No,
that scared the
this is
out
his
of me.
Temper tantrum.
But it's people that are enabling him.
Yeah.
That are also temper tantruming. It's ridiculous.
It's, you know, what is really frightening to me, I don't know, maybe just because of what I do, it skews my perspective a little bit. But there is nothing rational or normal from a psychological standpoint about his behavior. Mm-hmm. It really isn't. And it bothers me that people keep treating him and what he says as if he's rational.
Thank you.
And making sound choices, because this is a man that is delusional. This is the very definition of delusional disorder. Mm-hmm. This is a man who's delusional. Who, I mean, I don't need to go down the list of his more lovely traits, but you see the what's I'm having a brain fart here, but you see the tragic consequences of following someone who is not sound of mind. Mm-hmm. He's not sound of mind, so let's stop pretending that he is, because he's not.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you know what? That is a fact, and facts at some point make it to the surface, and so everyone who is following him are going to have a cold realization that, oh my gosh, what have I been doing the past 4+ years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Delusional megalomaniac.
Well, we got a little political on today's show,
we did.
But today it scared me as an American what I saw.
It should scare you,
and it made me sick to my stomach. And I don't. Hopefully, this was the low point.
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. Yeah. But that just was not good. So
but the hope is that this is. It's unfortunate, it's sad, it's tragic, but the hope is that we can turn this into a galvanizing moment, mm-hmm. and rather than, let ourselves be derailed by fear or whatever else comes out of this, that we use this as a learning opportunity.
Yes.
Like, this is what we don't do. Mm-hmm. Or, okay, what needs to change? What needs to change? Because we clearly can't go down this path. We can't keep going down this path and not expect that there's going to be more ish like this happening. Yeah.
Hopefully this can just be looked at as one of the last echoes, the dying gasps of 2020.
This ain't going anywhere, love. Just because Trump is leaving office, think about almost half of Americans who voted for him. They're still out there. They're not going away. Mm-hmm. And their beliefs aren't going away anytime soon. Mm-hmm. So this is something that we're going to have to live with. And so this is a time for all of us to be thinking hard.
Right.
About what to do. What does that mean for us? Like, we have to step outside of our little bubble of self-preservation. And I only worry about me and mine. We have to worry about all of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully the next candidate they pick won't be a megalomaniac. and that they can put this behind them.
You know, like, I miss just the regular brand of megalomaniacs, right? Like, you know, Dick Cheney. Like, I kind of miss him now.
He was even, what the heck?
Yes.
Why are we disputing the vote?
Yes.
Yeah, he was, why are we contesting this vote? I just have to say, when you're holding the mic like that, you make the, here.
Oh.
You're making this noise. Wait.
Yikes.
This thing? That's kind of annoying.
Uh-oh.
So don't do that.
I won't.
Stop it now.
Yikes.
This is my show. And you cannot make that noise.
Are you going to kick me out of cafe anyway?
Well, we're outside a cafe anyway.
Oh.
And look who's here. Hello, Michael Mash. It's Madame Rootabega. And I love to drink all those mocha drinks. Ooh. Yes, they're good, aren't they? Do you like to drink lattes? Yes. Do you like to drink frappuccinos? Yes. Do you like Coke? No. Okay. That's one of my. That was very enlightening, wasn't it, to hear that? Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we had the perfect Republican candidate in Chris Christie. He was the best day.
Yeah, Chris Christie. 2028 or something. Do you know that? Okay. Yeah, Chris Christie seems like a little puppy dog compared to Trump. It's crazy.
Can you imagine a Chris Christie, Rudy Giuliani ticket?
Wow. They both ran for president. Well, you know, we hope you didn't get too offended by our wonderful little political rant. Perhaps you would like to add, dovetail as it were, on what we were talking about. You can call us 336-MM Daily, 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, or Merry Melodies.
Yeah. That
And
sounds lovely.
Merry Melodies, that was the thing that later became the Bugs Bunny show. Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
It was like what they used to show during the films back when they were playing them with a guy turning the crank. Was that how it worked?
That's sure.
Why are we talking so softly now?
I don't know.
I got all excited and angry, and now I'm all calm.
Exactly. We got it out. But you know, love, hopefully this conversation will encourage other people to disagree, agree, but the point is to have dialogue.
Yeah.
To talk about it.
Oh, and this one guy, I get so mad at the media. The way Trump gets mad at media, I get mad when I see stuff that just irritates me. Right-wing talk show host I heard today talking about how, it was okay, totally justifying. And the way they do the pretzel logic to justify some of the stuff that Trump is saying or some of the stuff he's doing. But this talk show host was twisting himself into a pretzel saying, hey, it's the right of people to go in there and to protest because it's in the Constitution. And yet they are like completely desecrating these sacred halls of the Capitol that, the whole basis of our country. Oh, that's okay. Just run in there and set stuff on fire and shoot people. Well, it wasn't them that shot, but it is terrible. I'm sorry, you were bringing us to a nice end there, and I got all fired up again.
That's what this does. I was angry cooking today. Do you remember this morning?
Oh, that's right. You were making French toast.
Yeah.
Freedom toast. And you were doing it because we were watching, what's his name?
I don't know. We were watching NBC News, and I just couldn't watch it. It
Lester
made me
Holt.
so angry.
Lester Holt live on YouTube. Because we don't need no stinking cable. And,
just watching what was happening.
Our blood pressure,
yeah,
even though it's 2,000 miles away, dang. But it's our country, that's why.
Yeah. Thank you for turning off the TV, love.
You're welcome. I put it on the live jazz channel on YouTube.
Yeah. I was a little...
Jazz calms me down.
I was a little harsh with the French toast.
Well, the French deserve it. They're so mean. They get mad at us because we don't learn French and we go over to their country and give them a lot of money for things. Like their wonderful baguettes. Baguettes.
Those are good.
Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. Thank you for your wonderful point of view.
Aw, you're welcome. Thank you.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the listener. Just kidding. Thank you, lovely lady friend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
I'm so self-absorbed.